Lewis Hamilton has just uncovered a massive issue in Ferrari's 2026 car, and it could completely rewrite the championship narrative before the first race. What he found in Project 678 is sending shockwaves through Maranello. If this problem proves significant, Ferrari could be scrambling just to remain competitive, while rivals like Mercedes and Red Bull could gain a decisive early advantage. The opening races of 2026 might already be lost or won. Insiders reveal that Hamilton's discovery isn't obvious. It's buried deep in the new hybrid power unit and radically redesigned aerodynamics. Ferrari has kept the details close to the chest, and the FIA is quietly monitoring developments. Later in this video, we'll uncover exactly what Hamilton discovered, why it has shaken Ferrari's engineers, and how this could impact the entire paddock. The full story behind Project 678 is far more shocking than anything revealed so far. Ferrari enters the 2026 season with high expectations, unveiling the Project 678 car, which represents a radical overhaul of the hybrid power unit, aerodynamics, and chassis design. From the first laps of pre-season testing, Hamilton reportedly sensed subtle irregularities that raised immediate concern. These were not visible on standard telemetry, but appeared in the car's behavior under throttle modulation, braking, and cornering. Hamilton's insights prompted Ferrari engineers to focus intensely on identifying the root cause, understanding that any unresolved issue could have dramatic consequences for early season performance and long-term championship prospects. The hybrid system lies at the center of this early concern. Hamilton reportedly observed fluctuations in energy recovery and deployment that could affect corner exit speed, tire wear, and overall lap consistency. Even small deviations in hybrid management can have cascading effects on car stability and performance over race distances. Ferrari's engineering team immediately began conducting detailed simulations to determine whether these were isolated anomalies or signs of a systemic issue that could compromise the car's competitive edge. Suspension and chassis dynamics amplify the complexity of the problem. Project 678 introduces extensive revisions to suspension geometry and aerodynamics, which interact closely with the hybrid power unit. Hamilton noted moments where minor adjustments in steering or throttle produced disproportionately large changes in the car's behavior, suggesting integration challenges between mechanical and electronic systems. Engineers are now meticulously evaluating how each subsystem affects the others, knowing that resolving one issue without creating another is a delicate and critical task. Strategically, Ferrari has had to pivot its pre-season approach. Traditionally, sessions would focus on aerodynamics, tire degradation, and incremental setup improvements. Now, substantial resources are devoted to diagnosing Hamilton's findings, ensuring that the anomalies do not compromise reliability or speed. Every wind tunnel iteration, CFD simulation, and track lap is scrutinized not only for performance potential but also for stability and integration. This shift underscores how a single driver's observation can redefine the workflow of a top F1 team during the most crucial preseason phase. The psychological dimension is intense. Hamilton must provide precise, actionable feedback while simultaneously pushing the car to generate essential performance data. Engineers rely on this feedback to implement rapid solutions, ensuring that adjustments do not introduce further problems. The feedback loop between driver and engineering team is critical, emphasizing the modern F1 driver's dual role as both competitor and technical collaborator, whose insights can shape development, strategy, and reliability. The ripple effect of Hamilton's discovery has extended beyond Ferrari. Rival teams, including Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren, are reportedly recalibrating simulations, adjusting testing priorities, and revising early season strategies based on indirect signs of Ferrari's vulnerabilities. Even small anomalies detected in pre-season laps are enough to influence competitor preparation. Hamilton's discovery has thus transformed the early testing phase into a high-stakes strategic environment where observation, interpretation, and rapid response determine competitive advantage. Finally, the implications for the 2026 season could be profound. Engineers must validate every component, hybrid map, and system interaction to ensure the car performs reliably under the full spectrum of racing conditions. Any unresolved issues could compromise early races, affect driver confidence, and threaten Ferrari's championship ambitions. Pre-season has become a crucible where each decision carries amplified consequences. Hamilton's early detection has set the stage for a season full of tension, intrigue, and the possibility of dramatic shifts in the F1 hierarchy. The first partial revelation came as Hamilton began pushing Ferrari's Project 678 to its limits during pre-season testing. Sources suggest that he detected subtle but significant anomalies in hybrid energy deployment and torque consistency. While these irregularities were not immediately apparent in standard telemetry, Hamilton's perception of the car's behavior highlighted inconsistencies that could impact corner exit speeds, braking stability, and overall lap performance. Engineers immediately shifted focus from standard performance optimization to a detailed investigation, understanding that even minor oversights could have far-reaching consequences for early season competitiveness. Rival teams quickly noticed patterns hinting at potential vulnerabilities. Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren reportedly analyzed sector times, speed trap data, and lap-to-lap fluctuations to infer whether Ferrari's apparent pace might mask underlying problems. Even without access to internal telemetry, subtle performance deviations were enough to force competitors to adjust their pre-season simulations and anticipate areas where Ferrari might struggle. Hamilton's early detection effectively turned the pre-season into a strategic battlefield where rivals are forced to react to red flag moments long before race day. The hybrid power unit appears to be at the center of the concern. Hamilton reportedly observed inconsistencies in energy recovery and deployment that could compromise tire management and lap consistency during longer stints. Engineers are now running exhaustive simulations under varying track conditions to pinpoint the source of these anomalies. Given the complex integration between the hybrid system, combustion engine, and chassis, even minor deviations have the potential to cascade into more significant reliability and performance issues, highlighting the urgency of understanding the problem fully. Suspension and chassis dynamics further complicate the picture. The Project 678 features extensively revised suspension geometry, which interacts directly with the hybrid system and the car's aerodynamic profile. Hamilton reportedly noticed that small adjustments to steering or throttle could produce disproportionately large changes in the car's behavior, signaling potential integration challenges. Engineers are meticulously mapping these interactions to ensure that solving one issue does not inadvertently create another, turning pre-season testing into a high-stakes puzzle that demands precision and foresight. Ferrari's pre-season strategy has undergone a significant pivot. Traditional priorities like aerodynamic refinement, tire degradation studies, and incremental setup improvements have been overshadowed by diagnostic and mitigation work focused on Hamilton's findings. Every CFD iteration, wind tunnel session, and on-track test is scrutinized for both potential performance gains and latent reliability risks. This shift demonstrates how a single driver's insight can alter the operational focus of a top-tier F1 team, emphasizing risk management alongside pursuit of speed. The psychological pressure on Hamilton and the engineering team is considerable. Hamilton must provide precise, actionable feedback while simultaneously extracting performance data to guide development decisions. Engineers must interpret these observations accurately and implement rapid adjustments without introducing additional issues. This dynamic highlights the increasingly vital role of drivers as technical collaborators, where their sensory feedback can directly shape pre-season testing strategy, car development, and ultimately race day performance. Finally, the ramifications of Hamilton's discovery extend beyond Ferrari. Rival teams are reportedly recalibrating their simulations, adjusting testing schedules, and reevaluating early season strategies based on subtle indications of Ferrari's vulnerabilities. Even indirect evidence of instability is sufficient to influence competitor planning, demonstrating how one driver's observations can ripple across the entire paddock. Hamilton's early detection has transformed the pre-season into a high-stakes arena where every lap, every telemetry spike, and every minor observation could determine competitive advantage for the 2026 season. The first key twist emerges as Hamilton's discovery indicates that the anomaly in Ferrari's Project 678 may not be isolated, but could affect multiple interconnected systems. Sources suggest that the hybrid power unit, torque delivery, and chassis dynamics might all be subtly impacted, creating amplified irregularities under high-load conditions. Engineers are conducting detailed simulations to determine whether the problem is a minor calibration issue or a deeper systemic flaw that could compromise Ferrari's performance across several circuits. Every lap is scrutinized not only for raw speed, but for signs of potential instability that could manifest under real race conditions. At the heart of this twist is the hybrid system's unpredictable energy deployment. Hamilton reportedly noticed fluctuations during critical acceleration and cornering phases that could impact tire wear, corner exits, and overall vehicle stability. Engineers are analyzing how these variations interact with the combustion engine, battery storage, and chassis integration. Given the complex interplay of these components, even small deviations could cascade into larger performance or reliability problems, emphasizing the urgency of addressing Hamilton's findings before the season opener. The FIA adds an additional layer of complexity. While Ferrari is technically within the regulations, the integration of the hybrid system with the revised aerodynamics and suspension could draw scrutiny if competitors perceive an unfair advantage. Any corrective actions taken by Ferrari will be closely monitored, and rival teams may lodge protests if they suspect regulations are being exploited. This regulatory pressure forces Ferrari to balance maximum performance with strict compliance, creating a high-stakes environment where each engineering decision carries far-reaching consequences. Strategically, Ferrari's pre-season testing has been dramatically restructured. Sessions that would typically focus on aerodynamic optimization, tire degradation studies, and setup fine-tuning are now dominated by diagnostics and problem-solving. Engineers evaluate each lap and system iteration not just for speed, but for reliability, stability, and integration consistency. This shift demonstrates how a single observation from a driver like Hamilton can redefine an elite F1 team's preseason workflow, forcing a balance between aggressive development and cautious risk management. The psychological pressure on Hamilton and Ferrari's engineers is immense. Hamilton must deliver precise, actionable feedback while continuing to push the car to generate meaningful performance data. Engineers must interpret these observations accurately and implement solutions rapidly, ensuring that no additional complications arise. This dynamic underscores the increasingly critical role of drivers as technical collaborators, whose feedback directly shapes development strategy, pre-season testing, and ultimately race day competitiveness. The discovery has also created a ripple effect across the paddock. Rival teams, including Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren, are reportedly recalibrating their simulations, modifying testing schedules, and reassessing early season strategies based on subtle indications of Ferrari's vulnerability. Even indirect evidence of potential instability is sufficient to influence competitor planning. Hamilton's findings have thus transformed pre-season into a high-stakes intelligence operation, where every lap, telemetry spike, and anomaly is analyzed for strategic insight. Finally, the long-term implications for Ferrari's 2026 season could be significant. Engineers must validate every subsystem, hybrid map, and chassis interaction to guarantee both reliability and consistent performance. Any unresolved issue could compromise early races, erode driver confidence, and jeopardize Ferrari's championship ambitions. Hamilton's discovery has turned pre-season into a crucible where each engineering decision, adjustment, and test session carries amplified consequences, setting the stage for a season filled with tension, unpredictability, and high-stakes competition across the grid.